You never really know someone until you find out what they've buried. Welcome to Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer.
The argument that's trying to be made on his half is that there was some sort of bias in the investigation. The defense claiming the investigation biased by the investigator, that there was some sort of issue there, that in the past that he wanted to get back at Mr. Tellis, and that somehow led to planting of the evidence and things of that nature. What do you think of his defense and the angle that they're trying to take with this?
Well, it's defense 101. Whenever the evidence is very strong, you always go after the investigator or the investigation, right? So they're going to look at any small thing they can find that wasn't done, whether that's misspelling of names or whether that's some other small item that wasn't done correctly on a report, maybe something that wasn't written in a report that remains absent, yet they testify to it. And then they're also going to go after these investigators with everything they have. That's why they pull all the information from their files, from their personnel files, and try to find something that they can use. That's the only way to sort of try to dangle the, carrot away from the evidence, so the jury will start looking in one direction and not at truly the evidence that is really impactful in this case.
Do you think there is any reasonable doubt in here when it comes to that with the investigation? I know there can be some arguments here of bias, and we've seen other cases where the investigators screwed it up. And then the jury is confused. Look at Karen Reed. Look at that case in that, Proctor in that one. In this one, you're almost starting to wonder, is it sort of the same sort of deal where it's going to be a technicality that confuses the jury despite the overwhelming amount of evidence here that points to Robert Tellis being the individual that stabbed and murdered Jeff German?
Right. That's going to definitely be the defense's goal. But it's hard to, as you mentioned before, you can't plant DNA underneath one's fingernails. How did these investigators get into the house to plant, shredded up straw hats? The gate, remember the gait of the perpetrator is very similar to the accused. And then finally, there's a vehicle match.
Yeah.
That was caught on video and then matched up with the vehicle in the location of the accused. So when you look at all of those factors are factors that you really just can't come together as a frame job.
We're told that he's probably going to testify in his own trial here. What do you think we're going to see when he takes the stand?
Well, he'll try to come off very, of course, that innocent, apologetic. I wouldn't even be surprised to see some sort of emotion, tears, even over the situation, how he's been picked on and how law enforcement didn't like him. He'll probably try to specifically focus in on some issue that he had with one of the investigators. So I can see a whole string of information that he'll give, and we'll see if the jury buys it.
Yeah, it's going to be very fascinating to watch. His emotions in court, I thought, have been interesting thus far. Very animated, I guess. Have you seen his reactions while we've seen some witnesses testify?
Yes. You know what I found, Tony, though, about him is he's just very expressive.
Yeah.
Whether it's the photographs of him, everything he does, just he should be an actor, because whatever emotion he has, it just jumps off the page, off the photograph or the video. So I think part of that is just him. And I think he will fail miserably if he truly does take the stand. I can just see him up there like a dog on a wet linoleum floor trying to explain the hat that's shredded and the cuts and the DNA and everything else. I think it will absolutely fall apart for him. And I can't believe his lawyer won't be able to keep him off the stand.
Yeah, it's very expressive is accurate. It also kind of reads to me like a narcissist, where they can't necessarily feel the emotions that they should be feeling. So it's all learned behavior. And it's I should be reacting this way because this is how normal people react to X information. It reads to me of not genuine, not sincere, but he's done it most of his life, I think, to get by. And that's how he does it, as a learned behavior, not a genuine, this is how I should be feeling, because I don't think he's feeling anything.
Right. We've seen it before, for instance, when Murdoch testified, so emotional. I mean, it's your wife, it's your son. I mean, the allegations were just so brutal. And yet a tear never dropped, Tony. No. All that expression, but no tear. Same with the Black Swan. All that emotion, standing up, flailing, not one tear drop.
Yep.
So we've seen it again and again. Scott Peterson, another good example. When you watch his interviews where he seems so sad, his words seem sad, absolutely no teardrops. And as soon as the camera was off, just jumped up and, removes the mic like it was an acting job.
Yeah. Flipping a switch. I mean, I feel bad for people where that's how they live their life. But the reality is there's people out there like that, and not everybody goes and kills people. But it is scary because it then opens up the opportunity for them to have that ability because they're missing that part of themselves. It's going to be interesting to watch how this all wraps up.
Sick of the ads? Yep, we are too. Then you need to become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts. Heck, even try it for 3 days free right now. As a Premium Plus subscriber, you'll get exclusive access to uncut interviews before everyone else. Plus, no more commercials. So, if you have an iPhone, just search True Crime Today Premium Plus and press subscribe now.